Tonight we report on the Soap Lake mayor terminating their fire chief and how Quincy fired a police officer. What's going on in sports, Bob?
Two Seattle Sounders will be on the roster for the MLS All-Star Game August 6th, and Big Bend Community College summer volleyball camp is in full swing. Let's take a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
And here in the weather department, we're looking at a break to the heat wave as advertised. Cooling trend coming our way, a little gusty, still fire danger a bit. All the details coming on up.
I'm Alan Troop. Stay tuned for all of this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Quincy police officer David Anderson was fired Tuesday after lying on a police report and during an internal investigation. The city fired Anderson after learning he stopped a man who appeared to be driving drunk, according to the Quincy Valley Post-Register newspaper. The officer was reportedly caught on video camera telling the driver he was drunk and seeing the man stumbling out of the vehicle. The officer allegedly never investigated the status of the driver's license or whether the driver was intoxicated. Anderson issued a citation to the man after pulling the driver over a second time. Soap Lake Fire Chief Brandon Hood was terminated. Soap Lake Mayor Raymond Gravel made the announcement Wednesday night after an executive session and declined to say why Hood was fired. Hood was hired late last year and is the 5th fire chief to resign or be terminated since Gravel became mayor. The council discussed the city's options, including creating a new property tax to hire a new fire chief that would work on salary. They also discussed trying to annex into Grant County Fire District 7 or disband the fire department and pay the fire district for coverage. No decision was made other than to adjourn and continue the discussion in a special session next Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. at City Hall. Grant County Fire District 7 handled 6 fires within the last week. Chief Kirk Shepard said the wildfires burned less than 50 acres of open fields. They occurred at the intersections of Road A and State Route 28, State Route 17 and the railroad tracks, Trout Lodge Road and Road B.5, and 2 in the 1000 block of SR 28. For 5 of the fires, the cause is under investigation, and it's likely someone set the fires. The fire near the railroad tracks started from sparks from a passing train. Shepard said they have been really lucky and was happy they got to the fires fast. No one was injured in the fires and no homes or crops were damaged. The Grant County Health District identified 19 more cases of whooping cough in a group of farm workers and related individuals. The district learned about 3 cases in a group of migrant farm workers earlier in the month and has identified 210 people who came in contact with them. Health District spokeswoman Teresa Atkinson said 1 additional case was confirmed and 18 more people are showing symptoms. It is likely they have the disease. None of the people have been hospitalized, but they are being housed separately and are receiving treatment from a healthcare professional provided by the farm. The people affected by the disease spent time in Mattawa, Quincy, and Royal City, along with Adams and Franklin counties. A typical case of the disease starts with a cough and a runny nose for about 1 to 2 weeks, then weeks or months of coughing fits ending with a whooping sound. Now let's take a look at people currently being sought out by the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We will be right back after a short break.
Well, hi there, everybody. I am meteorologist Don Morelli with you here on iFIBER Channel 1 News Weather. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday. Your forecast is brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota Dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Taking a look at the headlines. Well, looking at the end of the heat wave, we've been advertising this all week long, and we are looking for a more significant cooling by the weekend. Just a little bit cooler tomorrow in the mid-90s, still above normal. But the big thing, the fire danger, it's been high all week. It's still going to be moderate, not as high, but we are still looking at gusty winds the next couple of days, off and on, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Heat, still pretty hot out there on Friday, a little cooler on the weekend. And another ingredient, of course, is the lack of precipitation. So looking for that to continue the fire danger. A little bit below normal temperatures, could be by the time we hit Sunday. Could be only in the mid-80s. That'll feel refreshing, huh? Normally 89 is the high, 97 this afternoon, so not quite at that century mark that we've been seeing most of the past 7 to 10 days. 68 degrees was the start here in the city and down in Moses Lake. You guys did clip that century degree mark. Didn't break a record, which was 105 degrees. Still is, actually. 66 is the morning low. We started off on this Thursday morning. Now currently it's a beautiful but hot evening shaping up, 94 degrees. The winds, as I mentioned, gusty. But notice the direction, west-northwest. With time, we'll be seeing more and more of that northwesterly component, and that'll be bringing in the cooler and cooler temperatures successively each day, getting a little cooler by a couple of degrees. Here we go through the next couple of days with our forecast of clouds and precipitation. During the day Friday, looking at the moisture gathering in northwestern sections of the state. Again, a surge of cooler air trying to come on in, and we'll see it coming in overnight into Saturday morning. And with it, maybe even some showers in the mountains. I don't think we'll see any here in the Columbia Basin, but if you're hiking or heading towards the mountains, you might bring an umbrella. It might be a little sprinkle here or there. Same thing on Sunday as well, as even some cooler temperatures try to come in. And each time a little surge comes in, the winds pick up. Tomorrow, west of the Cascades, mainly 70s, coastal sections 60s. Inland Northwest, we're looking at the upper 80s to near 90, 92 degrees in the Tri-Cities area. But looking at the Columbia Basin, you can see that we're looking at low to mid-90s, still about 3 to 5 degrees above normal, with the exception being Bridgeport and Quincy, right at that normal degree mark. So sliding out the 7 days, whoop, there we go. Below normal by Sunday, Monday. Back to seasonal levels, though, and it'll feel very nice with the break from the heat. So enjoy the weekend coming your way, folks, and tomorrow, Friday, of course. Got to get through one more day before the weekend. Keep it here. Sports is next.
Welcome back. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick with today's sports. The annual Big Bend Summer Volleyball Camp got underway this week. Reporter Sean Wells had a chance to catch up with first-year Lady Viking head coach Steve Duncan to find out how things are shaping up.
Big Bend Community College are holding their annual volleyball camp this week. First-year head coach Steve Duncan said the philosophy of camp is simple, to provide campers with a fun and educational experience.
You know, if they finish camp with a good fundamental understanding of the skills of volleyball and the right keys that each skill entail, then they're going to be on the right path to great things.
With extremely hot temperatures outside and no AC inside the gym, the campers are having to tough it out in order to play the sport they love.
You know, it's tough. It really is, because we're on our feet. We're working hard, you know, for at least 4 or 5 hours a day. And so we're making it by, though. You know, these girls, they love volleyball, and I do too. So we're toughing it out just in spite of the heat.
Camp runs through the weekend, and if you'd still like to join, you can stop by Big Ben's athletic office. For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
The Seattle Sounders' Clint Dempsey is one of 8 players from the U.S. World Cup team who were voted to the MLS All-Star Game. Major League Soccer announced the results of the fan vote Wednesday. Joining him on the roster is DeAndre Yedlin, Matt Beasler, Graham Zusi, Kyle Beckerman, Nick Raimondo, Omar Gonzalez, and Michael Bradley, who also represented the U.S. in Brazil. Landon Donovan, who played for the United States in the previous 3 World Cups, but was cut from this year's team, also made the MLS list. Seattle's Obafemi Martins will join his teammate on the pitch. Tiger Woods had an up-and-down first round at the 143rd British Open, but finished with a 3 under 69. Playing in just his first major tournament since back surgery last March, the former world #1 bogeyed the first 2 holes. He then finished with 6 birdies and another bogey over the remaining 16 holes. Woods, who has gone 6 years without winning a major championship, shot 4 under 33, that is, on the back 9. The early clubhouse leader is 2-time major winner Rory McIlroy, who had a 6 under 66 that featured 6 birdies. Matteo Manassero is 1 stroke off the pace with a round of 67. Adam Scott, Sergio Garcia, and Jim Furyk are among 6 golfers at 4 under par. U.S. Open champion Martin Kamer carded a 1 over par 73. 5-time major winner Phil Mickelson shot 74, and Master champ Bubba Watson ballooned to a 4 over par 76. Well, that's it for sports. We'll be right back after this.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a woman in Moses Lake that loves craft projects, and she is becoming a sensation.
Moses Lake's Disney Paulus is a busy mom, a popular blogger, a minister's wife, and a crafty person with her own home studio. Now she's an author. Disney has blogged on the web about crafting and life's joys and challenges for about 5 years, generating nearly 11,000 followers. She has been into crafts for about 8 years.
I remember when I first started blogging, or maybe about a year into it, my husband said, "Are you worried that, you're going to run out of ideas and not be able to blog anymore?" I was like, no, never.
Disney's blog can be found at rufflesandstuff.com. She explained how she thinks her following grew.
I think I kind of started at the right time, back when there weren't a whole lot of blogs, so that helped. And I worked really hard in the beginning to kind of put my blog out there on different forums and things like that, to kind of advertise it. From there on, it just kind of snowballed, I guess.
Blogging led her to a publisher and writing a book about kids' clothing refashioning. The book's title is Little Fixes, 54 Clever Ways to Extend the Life of Kids' Clothes. Little Fixes was published by Stash Books, a subsidiary of C&T Publishing. She tells readers how crafty moms who love to sew can dress up, patch up, or alter fast-growing kids' clothes. The book is on sale at Hastings, in Moses Lake, and Dog-Eared Books in Ephrata, plus Amazon.com and other online book outlets.
This was actually born out of a blog post that I wrote a couple of years ago about my daughter's clothes and how she had grown out of them so quickly, or, she was kind of petite, so she didn't fit a lot of things very well, and she's such a messer. She just spills stuff all the time, and it felt like I was constantly throwing away clothes, and it felt like a big waste, and I thought, well, I sew, I can fix this, I can put cute little patches on, and then my mind just started reeling with the different ways that you could fix little mistakes in clothing, or, little mishaps, and so I wrote a blog post about it, because I thought, I should share this with other moms, because I know they're struggling with that as well.
The models used in the book are her daughter Paige and kids from her husband Pastor Micah Paulus's Church of Christ on Sharon Avenue. She wrote and shot all the photos for the book and learned that writing a book is more hard work than romance. Disney shared her passion for crafting.
My mom was really creative growing up, and she really encouraged that in all of us, I think. I do a lot of sewing on and off, but my favorite are probably the glue gun crafts, where it takes not very long. My attention span loves those short things. Home decor type things. I love to make decorations and wreaths and party stuff. That's really fun for me.
Disney is mulling over ideas for a second book and will continue to blog. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
And we'll be right back after this. In Northwest news, fire officials say a handful of new wildfires, some started by lightning, are growing dramatically in central Washington, and several are threatening homes. Transportation officials say a brush fire that jumped containment lines Tuesday temporarily closed a 20-mile stretch of Interstate 90 in the central part of the state. The highway reopened late Tuesday night. The state's largest wildfire, the Mills Canyon Blaze near the town of Entiat, is now 40% contained and holding steady at about 35 square miles. Winds forecast as high as 30 miles per hour Wednesday could test the firefighters on all fronts. State Fire Assistance has been ordered for the Stokes Road fire burning in north central Washington's Methow Valley. Spokesman Jacob McCann says that fire has grown to 600 acres with zero containment. Residents of 7 homes have been told to leave. Another fire 10 miles north of Leavenworth quickly raced across 200 to 500 acres in heavy timber. Homes there are threatened too. Kittitas Valley firefighters are working to protect farm homes in the Badger Pocket area near Ellensburg from a wildfire burning on the northern edges of the Army's rugged Yakima Training Center. Health officials in Kitsap County say norovirus is to blame for sickening more than 260 people at a popular park over the weekend. Officials said tests of stool samples confirmed the same type of norovirus, a contagious virus that causes stomach pain, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting. Horseshoe Lake County Park in Port Orchard remains closed. Officials are waiting for results from water samples from the Centers for Disease Control to find out whether the virus is still present in the park's swimming area. Health officials will decide whether to reopen the park after they get those results, which are expected Friday. Some people freak out about spiders worse than others. One man in Seattle wasn't thinking too clearly when he found one in his home. Fire officials in Seattle say a man ended up setting the wall and ceiling of the laundry room in his home on fire. The man tried putting water on the fire, but it quickly spread to the attic. Fire officials say the fire caused about $60,000 worth of damage to the house. Fire crews were called to the rental home in West Seattle just before 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday night. The Red Cross is providing temporary shelter for the home's 2 residents, whom authorities have not identified. Fire Department spokesman Kyle Moore says he's pretty sure the spider died in the blaze. And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.